Welcome to Mary Fields Gardening Advisor. We have a fun hostess today. Debbie is taking a much-needed break, and you're having the opportunity to see our multi-talented behind-the-scenes lady. Diane Hawthorne is our hostess for the day, and Diane is the one who creates all of the beauty around this set, and then the wonderful voice that you hear on our phone calls.
We love our phone calls and the people that call in, just such wonderful questions. It's what keeps it alive for us. You know, every week it's current, it's active. So we love talking to you on those phones. So thank you for calling in, and I'm just so happy to be here.
And we're pleased to have you too.
Thank you. There will be no phone calls today because I'm up here, but we'll be back doing that next week probably. And Peggy, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about more decorating, and I really had a lot of fun. Some of the creations that we have on the set today, and I hope that we can show them well, because I have tried to do something a little different. Most of us like that typical simple arrangement on the dining table and one you can talk over and so forth. However, today I've tried to put a little different spin on some of these things.
And believe me, she has. There's some beautiful things here today that we're going to show you.
Right, and we do have a pic that I'd like to bring up to sort of set the stage for the show today. Yes, and that is using poinsettias and using fresh flowers. This was actually my dining table last Christmas, and so I used some of the 4-inch poinsettias in small containers. The containers were all similar, okay? And then I used some cut carnations to go with that. And presentation is everything. And you can make a poinsettia look really sharp if you present it properly.
Yes, you know? you can either present the poinsettia or something that's special, some heirlooms, anything to it, like accessorize with that, and it just is beautiful. That picture is just gorgeous. The coloration is
and
incredible.
I've used a lot of the cone type glass too to carry the color through. And you're right, Diane, accessorizing is so important. And all of us have things, I know you do,
that you bring out at Christmas.
That's special. You know, never change. No.
Getting down to business here, the announcement on our holiday hours at Merrifield Garden Center at our 3 locations. We're open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. We're open bright and early in the morning. Come by before work if you'd like, to 9 p.m. and on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So we're there, and it's bustling every day. And Santa is at all 3 locations right now, and if you visit the website, you'll get a real clear idea of what those hours are, because they do vary a little bit from, so that we have coverage you know, on the different locations. So we're really excited about that, and people are excited. It's just fun to see the kids come in the store.
Oh, it is, and they're all dressed up.
Yes,
and also at Gainesville and at our Fair Oaks location, they bring along their wonderful pets.
Yes. Oh, it's so dear. You get to see the pets, some of them with the little accessories on and whatnot, but people with their pets, that love their pets, they love to get a picture, and it's just a wonderful feel in the store right now. A lot of family, friends, animals, you name it. And also, Peggy has a big part in this. This is our 2003 calendar, which we're so proud of. We put it out in-house. And it just has some very wonderful pictures. And for example, next December, you can see what the store looks like almost now. It's just a real beautiful holiday picture. So we're real proud of that. It has you know, gardening tips for each and every month, pictures of Peggy's garden and other gardens throughout the area and really in the United States, and just some beautiful things to take a look at each and every month.
We do our own pictures and put it all together, and we're very proud of it. So be sure that you stop by. All 3 locations have a good supply of these.
And they're free, so come by and get those. So Peggy, we're going to talk about a mailbox.
Yes. We have a new frame at the Fair Oaks location, and this, I think, next year is going to be our thing, okay? There may not be enough of them for the other locations at the moment, but we sort of stumbled on this, you know. But it is a frame that we do similarly to our custom wreaths.
Oh,
and I'm very excited about it because a lot of people enjoy decorating their mailbox, decorating their lampposts. There's a couple of the first things that greet us, greet our guests, and so forth. So this frame is actually straight when it starts, but it's very flexible wire. And the men put it on their little machine where they create the custom wreaths, and then it's bent to fit over the box, and then it can be wired underneath so that even in a severe wind it won't blow off. But isn't that fun? It's fresh greens and they'll hold up well outside.
Those greens are just beautiful.
And then I've actually tucked 3 small bows into that, okay? So I'm very excited about the potential of that particular thing. And wired into it also with some of those beautiful red winter berries, which we have just brought out a huge new supply of yesterday, and they're just totally beautiful.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, and I think that well, you know, before we go to, in the meantime, I hope to include some of the Oasis products that make this easy.
Right.
And this one is the, actually use 2 of them, one on each side, wet the Oasis, push your greens into it, and then make a bow for the top. So you'd have 2 of these wired together over. And this is nice too.
Right.
And I think all 3 stores have those. Right. And of course you wet it, and then you push your greens into it and make it as small or as large as you please. And in the next picture, we'll show you one that was made in these.
That fashion.
And actually that's not fresh fruit, it's artificial fruit. Because so many of the fruits today are so real looking.
Aren't they?
That I don't use the fruits, they're heavy. Yes, Williamsburg and the traditional old estates do, but I prefer the artificial. And as we go through the program, I'm going to show you more of the fruits because decorating with fruits is very popular, and seems to be getting more so.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with more decorating for the holidays. Welcome back to Merrifield's Gardening Advisors, and we're here with Peg Beer today discussing decorating for the holidays, and who better to talk about this than Peggy. And at the stores right now, when you come in, there's such a great selection and combinations of fresh and artificial, and the variety of things that you can combine.
There are indeed. And it's important to know that it's perfectly all right to combine those things. You can mix the artificial with the fresh, and the fresh often enhances it.
And the artificials now are so real looking that when you do, it's not obvious.
It's not in your face.
It's very, very tricky on that.
That's right.
Peggy, you've created a video on Williamsburg fruit, and we're going to see that now. Lovely time of year to go to Williamsburg, but you can also bring Williamsburg right into your home.
Absolutely, and actually this was a grouping that was done for one of our seminars recently, and I've showed it as a grouping because usually you want something attractive on your dining table, you want something as an accent. These are beautiful urns. There's so much that you can do with a beautiful urn. Actually, the boxwood ball that you see in that urn right now is artificial, and it is lighted, so it's extremely attractive, but you could also do that with Oasis and make it fresh. And then candles are a part of course, of our holiday, and I love very much to use them behind glass wherever possible. And so I created a little grapevine circle and hot glued a few pieces of fruit onto that to put around the candles, and there are a couple of those. So this would be lovely on a long dining table or on a buffet table. There's also a topiary there, which again, made in an urn, is lovely. And you can wire these artificial fruit. It's very easy to do, and I'll show you how to do that. Here is another simple one that I've actually used on my kitchen table, and I will be sharing with you where I've come with that after Thanksgiving. But I do absolutely love the continuity of using several different things that tie together in the design. And actually, when we work our way out of this video, I'm going to show you what I did. I enjoyed this arrangement of pine cones and seed pods and the artificial fruit on my kitchen table. Also, I used some grapevine in this. And then I thought, no, I really need some actual fresh greens in some of this. And so I am going to share with you what I did to achieve that. And these things are on my dining table. The one in the center is pretty tall for sitting on a dining table and allowing you to talk over, but it is sitting on the equivalent of a cake plate. And so that arrangement, when you're eating, can be taken off and set directly on the table, and you can talk over it. So these are some of the little fun things that you can do when you're arranging to prepare for those things. I like things on a pedestal. They're very graceful that way, but you can change it. And what I did with that simple arrangement will show, and now this has been transported, so forgive me if a few things are a little out of place, okay? But this is the arrangement that you saw in that video. It's made in something that looks cute on my kitchen table. It is the artificial fruit and all the natural pine cones, and there's actually some grapevine into that. But let me sit that aside just for a second. And I actually have that sitting in a little plastic piece from the greenhouse. These are so useful because you can put them into any of your containers and you fit it to the size with the Wet Oasis, and you can then enjoy your greens without messing up even a silver bowl if you choose to display in that. So here is the surprise. This is how I can have the beautiful fresh greens, have them in water, and enjoy them throughout the holidays. These circles of Oasis are invaluable. This is a round circle of Oasis, and this is the larger size. We've done a lot of Advent wreaths in the smaller size. But my greens are tucked into that wet Oasis. And then I am using a pedestal that I can sit this back on. I can actually put water into here now and keep that Oasis fresh. And if you have an Advent wreath or even a centerpiece, be sure you remember to keep it fresh. I'm sitting this in here not because the water would hurt the bottom of this container, but just for good measure, okay? And now I'm going to place that back into that design. And now you have the smell of the fresh greens. This is what we hear so often when people come into the store. Oh, it smells so good. So you want to enjoy the smell of Christmas and enjoy these, okay? Now let's go through a couple of pictures here that are also pertinent to using fruit. I think we've got maybe 2 pictures. Let's bring those up. Here is a grapevine wreath, and artificial fruits have been wired and or hot glued to this. This is a wreath that could be used outside. Could be used on your front door. It could take the rain and the sun and all that sort of thing. So I do think that it's invaluable to have things that can be used on the front door without harming them. And in the other picture, I believe there is a cone. We have, I think, at all three locations. Diane, don't you have the Williamsburg theme at Merrifield? Because Diane is at Merrifield all the time. I'm at Fair Oaks. You know, we can't be in all three places. And so this is a beautiful cone that's artificial. It's in an urn, and it is done on a styrofoam piece, and but it's great.
It's such a classic piece, you know. And in that section of the store, there are just so many things that you can add to your decor and just really add that classy touch.
Right.
So it's just beautiful. So we hope you all come on in. We're going to take a quick break here, and we're going to come right back with more decorating ideas. Welcome back to Merrifield's Gardening Advisor. We're so happy to have you with us today. And Peggy's here, and again, we're talking about the creativity and the fun of decorating and creating something special for the holidays. And
we're going to try to show you what tremendous variation there is in that.
Each thing can be unique. Yeah. And we have a little video coming up on Christmas arranging, and Peggy's going to show you some things.
Again, this video was taken of the wreaths and designs that we did for the seminar. Our seminars are wonderful, and we are soon to go to press, by the way, with the winter seminars. But this is using the ornaments that are on the trees, and it's on grapevine, or it's on some of the artificial greens, and it's the use of ribbons a little differently. I know you often migrate back to where they're working with the ribbons there in Merrifield. You've got a tremendous selection there, by the way.
And the customer or the person coming in can be as creative as they want to be, or you can turn it over, and there are wonderful artists back there that can create for you. People are now bringing in pictures on their phones and whatnot. It makes it
those phones is fantastic. But look, there's a different use of ribbon here. Yes, you can have that bow, the simple bow. You can have it, and then you can have the loops tucked into it. And I will, just a little bit later in the show, be bringing up a wreath that I can explain how those are tucked into it, you know. I really do enjoy the wreaths. A lot of these can be used on the front door. Not all of them can. Some of them need to be inside, okay? But it's wonderful, you know, to have those. And you know, I really was thinking that this was the other segment. I need to back up just for a second while we're looking at this and grab that wreath that's in the front, because that's really what I need to show right now. And then we'll come to the other segment. So I'm going to sit here when you come back to me and be able to show you this wreath that I've actually brought along. But what you have been looking at are some of the possibilities that you can have design-wise. Here there's a mixture of the ribbons with the glass balls. Often those glass balls are hot glued into place. You'll find, if you walk among the trees, the sweet little owls, and there's a lot of woodsy things there right now. I really do enjoy there's one that's like the cowboy style stuff, you know, it's got fun things with the horses. Don't be afraid to mix fresh flowers with these things. Because now, particularly with only, can you believe, a little more than a week to go, those fresh flowers will probably go right through. If you do an arrangement or wreath with fresh greens, you can use the flowers as accents to tuck in, and then you can remove them and put in fresh if you choose to do so.
Exactly.
Actually, this is what I needed to show, because a lot of those wreaths that you were just looking at are artificial wreaths. And not done by me, by the way. They were done at two of the lovely ladies at the Merrifield location. And actually, Andrea did this one. She has wired on some of the items that were taken from the tree, and it's the Nutcracker theme. This would be particularly nice in the room of a child who enjoys that Nutcracker. And while she has done one larger bow in here with a mixture of ribbons, look at that wonderful blend of colors. And it is picking up the colors that are in those Nutcracker figurines. And then, instead of just the bow here, she has used pieces of the bow to wire in all the way around this wreath. And it really, really is, I think, very effective. Just love that.
It's beautiful.
You know?
Beautiful. The swirling ribbon and the swirling robe. And
now, I think we have just some videos that we can go through.
Yes,
I
we
mean,
do.
not videos, some pictures that will give you some other ideas too. I believe there are 3 of those.
we have those coming up. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Fresh arrangement.
Yes.
From one of our designers, Tina.
This is Tina.
Yes.
Yes. And as I said, you can get this beautiful fresh greens, which will have all been conditioned, prolonged, put in the water to keep down the bacteria, and they will go well through the holidays. And into that tuck these magnificent flowers, and Tina does a great job. And in the next picture, glass.
Oh.
All the glass things are very popular, very trendy right now.
Right,
you know?
and simple, but so beautiful. Each little thing that you look at just can add that touch that you need.
Absolutely. You know, you can, in some of them I've discovered you can stage the small ones, that is, with a little green moss around them, and it's beautiful. But this happens to be a tall cylinder of glass into which I put some of the loose witterberries.
Right.
And they're so beautiful.
Aren't they?
And how effective is that? You know,
beautiful.
it's an impact of red. I think we have one more pick there.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Now, this was my back deck a couple of years ago, and I actually used some Rain Hardy packages to set the stage. And in a container with wet oasis, I used the berries. And Nandina berries are great, but these winter berries are fantastic too. So,
That's spectacular.
another
That just looks so
few
holiday.
ideas, you know.
Well, we're going to give you some more inspiring ways to bring the spirit home to your for your holidays after this break. Now, Peggy, were those artificial or real?
Those are artificial.
Now, see?
You know, you
Who knew?
can do it with the real things. The clothes actually are real. And so you do have the fragrance of the clothes. It's not overwhelming, but it's very pleasant,
It
you
is.
know.
It is.
I don't like fragrances that are overpowering. I like subtle things, like the fresh greens or like the clothes.
We have a little video coming up now on Christmas mantles and wreaths, which is so important in the home.
I think so, but I think we did the mantle somehow,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
the last time, and this time I believe that it's more on some, well, it isn't. Okay, we're going to go with You Were So Right.
That's indeed a
okay?
mantle and a wreath.
Yes, it is.
beautiful
These
thing.
are lovely, okay? Again, we're going to take another look at some of these arrangements that we did for the seminar. And the variety of things that are available, again, on the mantles. I really do enjoy using either artificial wreaths and garland over a mantle area, or have the ability to put your arrangements into fresh, wet oasis. This is one that could stand being outside. The artificial flowers, some of the birds, and most all of the ribbons are hardy outside with the rain or with some of the effects of wind and so forth. But that is an artificial wreath over the mantle. There is an artificial garland there. And within that, you will see right here, there is a small designer bowl that has fresh flowers in it. And so you can mix them. And it's very important to do that, because when you bring fresh roping inside your house or a fresh wreath inside your house, you've got to realize that you are going to, it's going to dry out. You know, it can't stand it unless it's in oasis, you know. But you can tie on candy canes, you can do an awful lot of things that are an awful lot of fun, you know. And I have prepared for you here, when we do come back, where we are back to the set, something that I had also done for the seminar. I have created a frame. This is actually a wreath frame that happens to be square, and mounted it on a piece of wood, because I thought that's a wonderful thing to showcase an object of art behind it, or something that you enjoy, a nativity scene perhaps, you know. And at that time, I had used the artificials to trail up the front and to frame. Now I have put a small bowl of wet oasis in here, and I've used a beautiful bare branch, which happens to be euonymus, and I've tucked in a couple of tall pieces of hinoki cypress, the nandina berries, which hold up well, the wonderful small growing magnolia, and the blue spruce. Now behind here I chose to showcase a lovely little angel. You could, as I said, put the nativity set back there if you chose to do that. And so you can do some things that are fun and different. I guess it's a frame that just is nailed onto an attractive piece of wood, small container filled with oasis, and you've got a lot of creativity going on there. And I think as far as creativity is concerned, we have some incredibly creative people working at all three locations, and Diane is holding a wonderful fresh wreath that some of our people created. I think that's lovely, Diane.
They do. Every day when you come on the lot, you can see them outside, and they're picking the greens, and cutting and preparing the greens. And you had talked, Peggy, about the importance of preparation in terms of treating the greens and getting, and you can see this wreath is a good example of paying attention to those details and getting these greens in the form that they need to be placed on these wreaths. And then they arrange the greens, and then they have the little machine that very carefully secures those to the frame, and those things are on there. If you add a bow, again, the bow is added with great care and wired to that wreath so that it doesn't blow. We do a lot of cemetery wreaths, and those things are wired onto stands with the bows carefully attached, so if you come back, the wreath looks the way you did when you left it.
I think they're incredible, really. And a lot of them are done with all boxwood or all magnolia. And one of the fun things about the magnolia, especially because all of it is the brown back,
yes,
if it does dry out, you can spray the front of it with a gold spray. I love our Design Masters.
Yes.
And you can take it outside, use one of our trunk mats, spray the back of it, and then you can have this beautiful, beautiful gold with the brown back. I like that too. I often tell the story of Billie Jean's staircase. We put a wonderful garland on that of magnolia that had dried out, and I tried it then, and it is not fragile. It really goes through well. And the berries here, you know, it's amazing also that the birds do eat these berries.
Yes.
But they usually wait until later in the season to do that.
You're exactly
That's true with holly berries too. They eat those. But nature somehow makes these things attractive to them over a period of time.
So true.
So that they can be fed. Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful.
We're ready to move on.
Set it down here. All right. So, I think we're just about up for a break, and then we're going to be right back, and we'll see more about holiday decorating.
Good.
Welcome back. We can just hear that Nutcracker music in our minds there. It's such that season, those little girls heading out, and some little boys. But what beautiful productions and neighborhood productions. It's fun when it happens.
Right.
The local ones are so cute. The children are precious. We're talking in this segment about mantles with living plants.
Right.
Putting things that are live up on your mantle and how to decorate with those.
Again, encouraging you to use, wherever possible, your artificial wreaths and your artificial roping, if you're going to do roping, on mantles, particularly on mantles, because a lot of people burn their fire if they have a wood fireplace, particularly. Right. But I would like to show you how that's mixed with the fresh greens again in a different mantle. So let's bring up that particular picture. Okay, you know what? Somehow or other we have a little different. Well, we don't. Here, let's come in on this. Okay, this is an artificial garland, but the use of poinsettias, okay? And on that mantle, there is also an artificial top over the mirror. But there are fresh topiary rosemary. And there are fresh cyclamen in soil. And there are fresh which they are available right now in bloom, amaryllis, and also the narcissus. Yeah. And so this is another way to use those particular things. I think that we have, do another picture perhaps in this series. Okay, here's another mantle picture. Now this is also using fresh topiary boxwood, and I want to show you a couple. Bring that up, Diane. I want to show you how you can use not just these wonderful fresh topiaries. Let's exchange this for the tree. Okay. Can you do that, sure, Diane? Sure. I really do want to show you. This is a round piece of oasis that you're looking at that's been put in on a stem. And when we come, if we come back to, I'll show you actually what that is. Excuse me, reaching over here. This is how I created that. This is the styrofoam, which is nice and firm, that goes down into the container. And I simply use some pieces of attractive sticks, shall we say. And then on the top of that, this is an oasis ball that we create our kissing balls with, but also you can create a topiary with. So when you wet this down thoroughly, you can push your pieces of boxwood into this and create the topiary. Or you can hang it and make it into a kissing ball. But let me also show you, and this goes hand in hand with the use of all those fruits. This particular arrangement is a full block of wet oasis in a little designer bowl, and it's sitting on a cake plate, pedestal, whatever, to give it a little more grace, I think. But the key to doing this is to set the width of it and put in several pieces that are approximately the same length, and then set the height and push that piece into place, and then come back and fill in between those lines. It can be all boxwood or it can be a blend, and I chose to do a blend. And then I wired my fruits and tucked those into that oasis. I also wired the cones and put it into the oasis, and then tucked the little ribbons in along the way, doing some simple little bows along with the fruits. But let's pull that out and show you how I did that. It's a heavy-duty wire. This is probably 16 gauge, 18 gauge, and the artificial fruits are easy to pierce, and that is pushed firmly into there. If you really want to make it even firmer, you could put a touch of hot glue on there. I didn't do that, but that then gets pushed right into place, and you can see again how this one is done. Looks like the real thing for sure, but there it is. It's just that heavy-duty wire, 16 or 18 gauge. The smaller the gauge, the number, the bigger the wire, and that's important because it's a very small wire, 26 gauge, that we use to make the bows in. Okay, Diane, is that going to be precarious for you to move? Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's wonderful.
I believe that we have...
The fragrances are incredible as we go by.
We have one more picture, I think, in this segment, if we can bring it up. This is important because here again I'm coming back, as I do in my through the year in my own garden, because I test things. It's far from perfect, that's for sure. But I test plants and I try to show what I'm doing in the garden through the year, and this is what I'm doing in my house right now. I am preparing for the Christmas season because Christmas Eve is a big affair at my house with the family. These are living poinsettias. They are set into attractive pots, and they'll last really well if you don't let them go bone dry and don't keep them sopping wet. This is over my kitchen sink, so I'm constantly reminded that I need to take care of those things. And I've had great luck actually getting the rosemary through. And oh my, do I love to smell the rosemary. You could also snip off a piece here and there to perhaps cook with, you know. I took one through the winter last year, and that's a little bit of a challenge, but it's worth the effort. I also used a vase that had the winterberry holly in it, and as I said, we've got a lot of that, and it is spectacular. But I also used cyclamen in a self-watering pot. Those cyclamen I put up December 1st, and I did not take them down until through February.
Right.
They bloomed that length of time, and they did so because I had put them in a self-watering pot. And if we come back to the table here, I'll show you how I did that. Okay, this is the self-watering pot. It holds water down underneath. Okay.
See if I can lift it up.
And it isn't glazed, and so that pot will absorb enough water to keep that cyclamen going. Now, I put a poinsettia in this time because I'm going to give this a try. I think this will work too, okay? As long as I said, if you get your watering right, these plants will go a long time. I just tucked a little bit of moss around the top of this to, again, add to the attraction. Right. But what you do, there's a little hole right here, and you actually add your water to that hole. And I found that it went several days, and I didn't have to worry whether that cyclamen or, and in this case, I'm going to try this poinsettia, okay? because I think it'll work equally well with that. So these are some of the tips. These are some of the things that I like to try that makes this blend of things that we use for Christmas. The fresh greens for their fragrance and their beauty, and the fresh plants. But I just can't imagine the Christmas holidays without poinsettias, you know.
No, and then to have that beautiful pot and then that efficiency of watering is just, that's a great idea, Peggy. We'll be coming right back in just a moment for another segment. Look at those incredible bows. Oh my goodness.
I love purple. I really do. They're red and they don't fight to me. You know, we used to think of some colors that didn't work well together, but you know, over time, it depends upon the tone, the hue, whatever.
Exactly. We have a video now of some Christmas displays from this year.
Okay, let's take a look.
2012.
You know, yes, this is from the seminar, and it is a close-up, actually, of that frame that I did earlier.
Yes, it's so good.
I really love that, the creativity behind that. But let's talk about the different shapes, too, of all of these beautiful arrangements. That could be fresh greens in a vertical design, used with some of the red twig dogwood. It does a nice pickup. In that particular instance, that one was actually artificial flowers, and white because you use a white container. Now in the back, Tina threw into the mix a wonderful thing, again in glass. She does beautiful things with glass containers. And she's used groupings of carnations mixed with those beautiful red winterberry. It's a deciduous holly. And look how nicely that is portrayed along with the magnolia and some cut stems of amaryllis, which I'm amazed. She has convinced me that it's quite safe to use those because they last for a much longer period of time than I ever dreamed, you know. Again, a view, and I'm really glad that I didn't think we had this video, but I'm pleased that we do, because this is how I used that frame of grapevine to accent the side of it with the artificial flowers. I took those away, and in the previous segment showed you what I had done with branches and the fresh greens. And so I really sort of attached these here and there to that frame.
Right.
And then accented the angel at that time, and I decided, wow, I'm really going to do that again. Now, here again, we're working a lot with white. And when you do work with white, it's often very good to do that in a white container or a container that's not too obvious. This could be, you know, this is all artificial. There is one thing, your holly, your American holly, or even your variegated holly, don't hold up as well as some of the greens. Now, here is a big arrangement using fresh magnolia, huge masses of the red winterberry, and rising up out of that the stems of the red twig dogwood. So that is really a fun thing to do. Okay, look how pretty those berries are, and they hold up for a long period.
Makes you want to go home and write down that I must plant some of these things.
And you
so
can.
That, yes,
they grow beautifully in the garden.
And then to have that,
it's great for a border planting.
Yeah.
And so also a lot of the magnolia that we're working with is that small growing magnolia. It stays under 20 feet.
Right.
And so instead of a line of privacy line of just one particular thing, do a mix.
Yeah.
And you know the ground is still warm right now. And look at that beautiful red berries. Ilex verticillata, winterberry holly. put some into the garden. Now, you need one little boy to go with the little girls.
To produce those berries.
You absolutely do. It's amazing how fast the time goes by. But you know, if the camera can come quickly, as we're going, finishing up, can come to where my hand is over here. This is a close-up of an arrangement that I made just simply using the beautiful, beautiful fresh greens. It is the Nandina that's colored beautifully. It is the contrast of the Hinoki cypress and the beautiful stems of that red twig dogwood.
And you can go out and look in your yard, see what you have now and see what you might want to add. And then anything that you don't have, come in and, you know, you can supplement. But it is fun to go out and pick your, pick your own and have it available.
Absolutely. And I will be leaving here and taking most of these things to the Fair Oaks location. And it's always fun to say hello. So stop by, I'll show you what these things are. Okay. We'll have a chat.
That's so fun. Peggy, thank you so much. And next week we're going to be talking about Christmas decorating and wrapping.
We're all going to be a little together next week.
But we'll wrap some things. That'll be
last
so fun.
minute thinking.
Last minute gifts. Well, it's been a pleasure and so much fun. Beautiful things, Peggy. Beautiful.
And thank you, Diane, for sharing.
We'll see you all next week.
An important free offer for men with balding or thinning hair.
My hair looks better than what it did when I was a teenager.
I really think he looks amazing. I mean, just look at him.
Men, no diet, no exercise program, no new set of clothes can ever improve your confidence, your good looks, and the way women look at you, the way a thick, full head of your own real hair will. And now you can have it in just 4 weeks when you call Hair Club right now.
I just can't believe how much better he looks. He looks so handsome now.
Life's about having fun. It's about looking good. I mean, 80% of feeling good is looking good.
Call now for your confidential appointment. We'll give you a free hair and scalp analysis. Get the head of hair you want. Call Hair Club now.
I only wish I hadn't taken so long. That's why I'm telling you, do it now.
Call now for our free DVD and brochure, shipped to you in a discreet plain envelope. Hair Club has the solution you want. Call now.
Call 800-401-7676. That's 800-401-7676.
Morris Jones weeknights on News Channel 8.
Coons.com! 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 Coons.com!
Huge Coons year-end savings up to $12,000 off MSRP. Payments as low as an incredible $59 a month. Get started now online at Coons.com.
E.R. Williams presents Season's Greetings.
Hi, I'm Colonel Wilborn, stationed in Kabul, Afghanistan. I'd like to send out a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to my family, my wife and kids in Northern Virginia.
Just want to say Happy Holidays. My parents back home will love you, miss you, and I'll see you again next year.
I'm wishing Happy Holidays to Staff Sergeant Ferguson in D.C., and I'll be seeing you soon.
Brought to you by E.R. Williams.
Show her your love will last forever with a gift from Eternity Jewelers. Hurry in now and get up to 50% off for the holidays. Eternity Jewelers specializes in repairs, redesign, and appraisals. We carry the finest loose diamonds, gold, platinum, birthstones, and more. Plus, enter to win 1-carat custom-designed diamond earrings. You pick the setting, a $1,200 value. Visit WJLA.com/gifts. Find the perfect gift today, only at Eternity Jewelers in Alexandria.
Coons.com! 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 Coons.com!
Huge Coons year-end savings up to $12,000 off MSRP. Payments as low as an incredible $59.
TerryBowl.org. Visit the College Park Aviation Museum and experience over 100 years of aviation history. See our hands-on exhibits, experience exciting activities, or celebrate a special birthday, aviation style. Join us this holiday season. Come see our miniature trains, villages, tunnels, and depots, a fascinating moving display of model railroads. Fun for the whole family. For more information, visit collegeparkaviationmuseum.com. College Park Aviation Museum, a place where imagination soars.
Personal preparedness begins with you. Sign up for Alert DC for up-to-the-minute info sent right to your mobile phone. Get informed, make a plan, make an